So in this video, I'm going to show you how to make this. This is my loaded baked potato casserole with chicken, broccoli. It has cauliflower in it, and it has a spicy nacho cheese sauce. The full recipe will be in the description box as well as your grocery list, so you can go to the store and get everything that you need. So the first thing we're going to do is start off by quartering some potatoes. I do suggest you get a variety bag that has red skin potatoes and golden potatoes. I got this bag from Sam's Club as well as most of the other things that I have for this video from there. So you're just going to repeat the process. Make sure you do wash your potatoes before you prep them. After that, they should look like this, and then you're just going to take a separate bowl. This is just so it's easier for you to season it, and you just want to split it evenly. So after you get that done, the next thing you're going to do is start to season the potatoes. So I just want to let everybody know that these are the famous potatoes that I make that everybody like. If you're watching this video and you've ever had these, this is what I'm putting in here. So you're going to do 2 tablespoons for all of the potatoes. So we're going to do 2 tablespoons of Italian seasoning, 2 tablespoons of cracked black pepper or ground black pepper, 2 tablespoons of salt, 1 tablespoon of crushed rosemary. If you have fresh rosemary, then that's fine. You're also going to do 2 tablespoons of your favorite garlic and herb seasoning. I do not suggest that you use Mrs. Dash because it has a lot of salt in it, like a lot of salt, and you will be able to taste it. And we've already put salt in here, so I do suggest you get one that has no salt in it. So again, we're doing 1 to 2 tablespoons because we split the bowls in half. So it's 1 tablespoon per bowl. If you did not split it up, you just put 2 tablespoons in the one bowl. Next, what you're going to do is add 2 tablespoons of dried parsley. This will get rehydrated in the oven. And then you're going to take a 1/4 cup of olive oil and you're going to put that in each. So if you want to follow my technique, you would just cover the top with the seasonings. But if you would like to measure it, it is up to 2 tablespoons. So now what you're going to do is get that mixed in really well, just like I'm doing here. So I do want you to take your time when you are mixing because you do want to make sure that all the seasonings are evenly distributed. They should look just like this, and now it's time for you to prep to bake them. So I suggest at this moment that you heat your oven to 415. So if you separated yours like I did mine, you just want to make sure that the other bowl is mixed up as well. And now what we're going to do is take some cookie sheets and you're going to spray it down with some oil, or you can line it with some aluminum foil. But I do suggest that you do just spray it with olive oil. And then what you're going to do is take the potatoes and you're just going to level them off by just spreading them onto the cookie sheets. You do want them to be flat, so if you did not separate it, then you can just split it into both cookie sheets. So after that, you want to bake them at 415 for about 25 minutes, and then you're going to set that to the side. So now you want to clean and sanitize your station. Now you're going to take 1 pack of the chicken breast from Sam's Club or Costco's. It was about 6 pieces in here. And now you're going to just trim off the fat. It was not a lot of fat on here, but if you have a pack that has a lot of fat, you just want to take your time and be very careful and trim off the fat. So you are going to wash and dry your chicken. If you would like to debate with yourself in the comments, go ahead. But you are going to wash your chicken with apple cider vinegar and lemon juice, and then wash it with water and then pat it dry. Then you're going to cut it into medium to large cubes, whichever size that you prefer. But I did do these medium cubes, just like I'm doing here. Just cut them into slices and then cut those slices into cubes. So what you're going to do is repeat the process with all of the chicken. Again, this is about 6 pieces of chicken, but I did 2 packs because I was doing like a meal prep thing too. So now what we're going to do is we're going to season that chicken. So we're going to do 1 to 2 tablespoons of creole, 1 tablespoon of the garlic and herb seasoning from the 4, the same one from the potatoes, 1 tablespoon of smoked paprika. You're also going to add a 1/2 tablespoon of sazon. This is a flavor enhancer, so please make sure you do not add a lot of this. And then you do want to make sure you are using the one in the orange packet. Now we're going to do 1 tablespoon of dried parsley. And then the next thing you're going to add is this seasoning. I got this from Sam's Club. It's called kickn. So you just want to add about 1 tablespoon of this in there. And then you're just going to get that mixed up well. So when you are mixing this, I want you to take your time doing this as well, because again, you want to make sure that all of the seasoning is evenly distributed, and you want to make sure that everything is dissolving correctly. So after you get that mixed up, it should look just like this. And now you're going to clean and sanitize your station again to prep the vegetables. So there's no need for you to put the chicken in the refrigerator. You're going to let that sit out and come back to room temperature. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the cauliflower first, and you're going to clean it. You're going to wash it as well as with the broccoli and apple cider vinegar, lemon juice, and water. Give it a nice bath, and then you're going to start off by taking the leaves off like I'm doing here. Then you're going to cut the core out. There will be large pieces at first, but the cauliflower, again, is a little hard to handle if you've never did this, so I would suggest you do it this way. So after you get the pieces off, you're just going to trim the stems, and you're going to cut these pieces into medium pieces. You can do whatever size that you want to do, but for this recipe, this is how I did it. You do not want really big chunks. You are actually going to repeat the same process with the broccoli. So I got the cauliflower and the broccoli from Sam's Club. It was a really big bag of it for the amount that I was doing. You can do as much as you want, but you do not need a lot. And when it comes to the broccoli, if you do not get fresh broccoli and you get the one that is frozen, please make sure that you warm it up so the water can drain off and it does not drain into the casserole. So it should look just like this, the cauliflower and the broccoli. You can go ahead and set that to the side, and y'all know what to do next. Clean and sanitize, and now we're going to start to cook. So we're going to start with the chicken. So you just want to take a pan and you want to warm up about 2 tablespoons of oil, and then you are simply just going to take the chicken and you're going to pour the chicken in. If you separated it and you do not have a large enough pan, you should do 2 different pans. So after you get the chicken in, you're just going to cook this for about 6 minutes. Or if you have larger pieces, you do want to cook it for about 8 to 10 minutes until all of the chicken is cooked. So after that, you're going to add about 2 tablespoons of butter, and you're going to let that cook for another 2 minutes. And then you're going to remove the chicken. Do not rinse out the pan. And we are going to start by adding the fresh broccoli into the pan. So allow the broccoli to cook for about 2 minutes. And then you're going to take a 1/4 cup of water and you're going to put that into the pan. After you put the water in the pan, you are going to add the cauliflower and you're going to allow this to cook for about 5 minutes. So the water is what's going to steam it. And again, you just want to put a top on it and allow it to steam for about 5 minutes without touching it. So after it is steamed, you're going to add about 1 teaspoon of creole seasoning, and then you're going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. So after that's done, you can just go ahead and put that to the side. Now I'm going to show you how you can create the spicy nacho cheese sauce. So again, I got most of the ingredients from Sam's Club. I got this big can of nacho cheese from Sam's Club. So you want to add about 3 cups of this to a large or medium saucepan. I do suggest you use a deeper one because it is nacho cheese and it will splatter once it warms up. So what you want to do is just put it on the stove on a low to medium heat, and now we're just going to season it. So this is where the spice comes from, which is just the Cajun seasoning. I got this from a place called Fresh Time, so if you have one, you can go there and get it. Then I added about 1 tablespoon of this Louisiana Cajun seasoning. I got that from Kroger. And then you're going to add this chicken poultry blend. I got this from Sam's Club as well. And lastly, you're going to add 1 tablespoon of dried parsley, and then you're just going to get that mixed in well. So after you get that mixed in well, you are going to actually turn the heat to low for about 5 minutes as you assemble the casserole. So now we're just going to assemble the casserole. You're going to take a bakeable dish. If you have a big one, you can use that, or if you have an aluminum pan, you can use that. But for the most part, this is what I use because I did meal prep as well. So you're going to start by doing 1 layer of the roasted potatoes, and then you're going to do another layer of chicken, and then you're going to take the broccoli and add a layer, and then the cauliflower and add a layer. And again, I did meal prep, so I did the meal prep with the cauliflower and the actual casserole without the cauliflower. And you don't have to use the cauliflower at all if you don't like it. So now what we're going to do is take that nacho cheese sauce and you're going to do a layer of that, and then you're just going to repeat the process. So a casserole is just layered, as you can see here. We're layering it by potatoes, chicken, vegetables, cheese. And then you're just going to repeat it until everything is gone. So I did 2 layers for the dish that I had. So what you're going to do after you add the chicken, the last layer of chicken, you're going to take the juices from the chicken that you cooked it in. So this is just the butter and the oil and the seasonings. And you are just going to do what I'm doing here and just pour that on top. So now you're just going to take the last bit of the broccoli and just add that in, and then the last layer is going to be the rest of the nacho cheese sauce. So you don't want to crowd this in one spot. You do want to like do a thin layer and then do another thin layer if you have quite a bit left. Then what you're going to do is bake this at 385 for 15 minutes, and it should look just like this. So right out the oven, you can either garnish this with some fresh chives like I'm doing here, or you can go ahead and chop up some fresh green onion and put that on top as well. You can either serve this right out of the casserole dish, or you can make like the individual servings, and that is it. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video.